Okay, so for today's class, it's basically a very basic introduction to essential oils class, where what we're going to be going through is different ways to use the essential oils and how we can use them. And then at the end, we'll do some question and answer over specific essential oils or any specific ailments that you may be wanting to talk about. So we're going to be using this natural solutions class outline is available through the Stack Team application. So using this handout, either printing it out or using it in any of the classes is very replicatable. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is
coffee love
what are essential oils.
Yeah.
So essential oils are basically pure plant extracts. They come from the roots, the stems, the barks, the leaves, the flowers of the plants. And depending on where the essential oil comes from, that typically then gives you an idea as to where you would be using it topically on your body or internally on your body. So when we take a look at, for example, frankincense, how they source frankincense is where they're actually slashing the tree and it's creating a cut, a scar into the tree. And they're doing that 2 times to get the resins and the sap pretty much from the frankincense. So when we look at the way that they're sourcing it is that they're doing that slash. So when we look at the way that that tree heals is that when it gets those cuts across the bark and into the tree, this is where if you have a cut or if you have a scar on your skin or an emotional scar, this is where frankincense is very good for similar healing properties. And that's where you can almost think about how a plant exists in Mother Nature and then be able to correlate that to how we can use it for ourselves. So that's where essential oils are basically all natural solutions for us to be using in our homes and for our overall well-being. So an example is peppermint. Everyone uses peppermint either in their homes, whether it's mint that's being added into our teas or using mint in our foods. This is where just using a drop can automatically invigorate and lighten up the senses. So you can also use it topically by adding it into your shampoos or your conditioners, having that little tingling sensation, as well as with helping with hair growth, promoting a healthy scalp. There are so many different properties that one essential oil can have. So when we then talk about, for example, lavender essential oil is very common for calming emotions and for soothing. But lavender essential oil is one of the most adulterated essential oils in the industry. So we'll talk a little bit later about why doTERRA and how the sourcing completely changes when we're talking about essential oils from the brand doTERRA. Where again with lavender, this is where you can use it for supporting the emotions, for soothing, for calming, for serenity. This is a great way to be using it either before bed, for helping with calming some anxious feelings, for being able to use it topically on the skin, for helping with any redness on the skin. That might be great to kind of help pull out that redness. And this is where, for example, there are different ways that they're sourced. So when it has an A in a gray circle, that means it's able to be used aromatically. When it has a T in that orange circle, that's topically. And then S is for sensitive. So this is where you can use this oil without dilution, but also I always recommend diluting an oil. It always has better absorption into the body when it is diluted, as well as you're able to cover more surface area. So for example, with India, peppermint and lavender are both also ingestible oils. So there will also be another oil where it has I. However, due to the Indian regulations, they cannot categorize an oil as ingestible as well as aromatic and topical. So for example, when you are buying the essential oils online, you'll have different categories for whether it has that FSSAI license, and the labeling will be different on the bottle to say and specify that it is able to be used for internal use as well. So that's where you just want to be mindful to make sure that you are reading the oils correctly and using them as per what's written on the bottle. The second thing is, why use essential oils? When we talk about essential oils being 100% natural without any synthetics and chemicals, this is very important to also, again, understand the brand of essential oils. Because when doTERRA entered into the Indian market, they also did a lot of testing for some of the other essential oils that were out there. For example, if we look at cinnamon essential oil, that's where we've seen and tested that in a lot of other brands, there is not even any cinnamon inside of it. It is all synthetically full of chemicals. And that's where when people ask about what are the price differences, why are we seeing such a price difference? A couple things go into that. Number one, it is the quality. First and foremost, you're ensuring that it's therapeutic quality or pharmaceutical quality. The second thing is the co-source, that co-impact sourcing, is that they're ensuring that the way that they're sourcing these essential oils is being mindful of the environment. It's also being mindful of the farmers and ensuring that fair wages are being paid for that. So that's where it's something that if you're looking to support a sustainable and ethically sourced brand, this is the one to go for. The second thing about it is that essential oils are easily absorbed into the body. So anything that you're applying, anything that you're breathing in, that you're applying topically onto your skin, that you're ingesting, it doesn't matter how you're experiencing it, your liver is metabolizing it. So everything is being ingested and digested into your body. And that's where you want to, again, be mindful of things that you're applying onto your skin. Your skin is your largest organ. You want to make sure that these are good quality products. So for example, most people have experienced essential oils, whether it's through skincare, whether it's through agarbatti, divas, candles, there's always some type of essential oil typically in it. Just ensuring that it's actually pure is one thing that we want to be mindful of, because again, we might not see the after effects of it immediately. We might see it 5 years later, 10 years, or even 30 or 40 years later down the road. So this is where we want to just make sure, again, that we're using things that are pure and therapeutic for our bodies. So a couple of different ways for how to actually use the essential oils. So we're going to go through the 3 ways which we've spoken about: aromatic and topical. Internal is the other way. So again, with doTERRA oils, they do have the FSSAI license for the essential oils to be internally ingested. For example, frankincense. This is a great one that is able to be used for internal support, where it's great for cellular rejuvenation. It's a great for topical appearances, where it can be internally taken. It can also be diffused or applied topically onto the skin. And frankincense is one of the essential oils that is a sesquiterpene. So it has a chemical composition where it's actually able to cross the blood-brain barrier. So this is a great one to be using for elderly. This is a great one to be using at all ages. A couple of the other ones, we're not going to touch on all of these, but these are basically our top 8 essential oils that are typically used on a regular basis. The Breathe blend is the respiratory blend, where this is one where it has eucalyptus, it has rosemary, it has peppermint, it has ravensara, it has cardamom in it. It has a lot of great oils in it that are there to help with soothing and supporting great sleep, as well as just opening up the airways beautifully. So this is where doTERRA has quite a few different blends, which take the best of every essential oil that it has to offer, combines those in the correct composition, and then you're able to use a ready-to-use blend. The Deep Blue is a great one for aches, for having it as like a soothing massage to be used across the legs. For example, if you've worked out, this is a great one to kind of help with relaxing the muscles and using it as like a therapeutic massage post a workout or before a workout. The Digestion in India, almost there, I would say 1 person in every family usually has some type of digestive issues, whether it's gas, bloating, upset stomach. This is a great one where it can be added internally, where a couple of drops can be added and sipped on throughout the day into your water, into a spoon of coconut oil, or however you'd like to internally take it, or adding a couple drops with some carrier oil and massaging it across the belly. It doesn't have to be a full massage. It can just be kind of like dabbed across the stomach, and within minutes, you'll see results. And that's where I use this on a regular basis with my kids, with myself, especially with motion sickness. Digestin is one of the ones. The other one that's there is wild orange. That one is a favorite. So each person, again, is different, where 80% of the chance that this essential oil would work for you is there. But everyone's body composition is different. Everyone's emotional makeup is different. This is where finding the right oil and knowing your body and knowing yourself is going to be the best option. So that's where, if you're unsure about, okay, maybe not investing into a whole bottle, ask whoever has introduced you to this class to maybe offer you a 1 ml sample size or a 2 ml sample size to start with, to start seeing those changes and the results, and then being able to then go forward and purchase a 5 ml bottle or a 15 ml bottle. A couple of the other ones, tea tree, very common. Everyone in India knows of tea tree or melaleuca. This one is sourced from Australia and Kenya. Then the very first oil that I was introduced to with doTERRA in 2014 was the On Guard blend. And this is one that I use month in and month out, where we are constantly using it for immune support. We're using it to kind of help warm up the body. This is where it has cinnamon, it has clove, it has wild orange, a lot of the warming essential oils in there. It's a really great one where some people love the aroma of it and some people don't, because the clove may be a little bit overpowering for some, but that's where it is very beneficial. And that's where you can see, again, these ones all have the I's. So again, it has A, aromatic, I, internal, T, topical, N can be used neat without dilution, and S for sensitive. So for anyone, younger children, for adults, senior citizens, this is a great one where if it has an S, just to be mindful to dilute the oil a little bit further, because it can be a little bit more sensitive. And for example, if someone does have sensitive skin, always do a test patch, either inside the forearm, inside the elbow, behind the ears. Leave it for about 24 hours, see how the skin changes. And if you're okay, then continue on. If you're finding that you're still sensitive to that, you can try diluting it a little bit further with any carrier oil, whether it's fractionated coconut oil, jojoba, olive oil, almond oil, any vegetable oil that you might even have in your kitchen. You can use any of those as carrier oils too. So then now coming back to what I had mentioned earlier is what makes doTERRA essential oils different. The first thing is that they're certified pure, tested grade. Their essential oils are the most tested and the most trusted across the world. And this is where you can scan this QR code for more information. Otherwise, you can also use their website, sourcetoyou.com, where you can then see all of the third-party testing that goes into each batch of oils. So on the bottle that you would receive, it would have a batch number on the bottom of it and an expiry date. With that batch number, you can go to this QR code where I'll link this PDF down below, as well as in the video recording that I'll share afterwards. But the website sourcetoyou.com, you'll be able to track everything that's gone into the sourcing, all of the testing behind it, to make sure that that bottle doesn't have any fillers, it has zero adulteration, it has no chemicals, and basically that bottle is safe for you and your family to be using. The second thing is co-impact sourcing. So again, making sure that each of these essential oils are harvested sustainably and that they are working directly with the farmers, where there is no mid person involved, where they're basically working with the farmers and the distilleries to ensure that fair wages are being paid, as well as they're getting paid on time. Because as we know, especially like in India, we see how unfair wages can be. And this is something that wage equality is something that should be instilled, not just for specific countries, but across the globe. And that's one of the things that doTERRA does, is that they definitely invest in their infrastructure. Then the third way, one of my favorite things is the doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation, where they support different communities. So for example, if you have an NGO or if you have a special project that is set up to be able to receive crowdfunding or to be able to receive these funds, this is where you can request for essential oils, or you can request for monetary or financial support, where you can raise a certain amount of funds. doTERRA will then match those funds to be able to provide a greater impact, whether it's in hospitals, clinics, schools, cleanup projects, anything to do with the environment, women, children. There's a lot of women empowerment, as well as child empowerment that they do. So if there's any project that speaks to you, feel free to reach out to the person that has introduced you to the oils, and they will be able to assist you with how to submit a Healing Hands application. So the next thing is, how can natural solutions help you achieve your goals? So if you have a pen and a paper, I want you just to go and write down your top 3 wellness goals. Once we finish through this, we're going to come back and go through those top 3 goals and figure out what natural solutions can be put in place to reach those. So essential oils may be a part of it. However, when we look at our nutrition and lifestyle, digestion, these are all a big part of that overall lifestyle movement and being able to live a holistic lifestyle. So we have nutrition and digestion, we have movement and metabolism, rest and managing stress, reducing toxic exposure and supporting detoxification. And those are all lifestyle aspects. Then you have the healthcare, where you want to be proactive medical care and informed self-care. So this is where essential oils can play a part in each of those areas. Then we have how you can actually get started. So there are different kits that you can choose to start with. So for example, there's the Healthy Experience Kit, which is to the top 10 5 ml bottles, which includes a carrier bottle, a carrier oil, a fractionated coconut oil. It includes stickers, and then you can also upgrade that to one that includes a diffuser. Or there's the Home Essentials Kit. So the Home Essentials Kit has 15 ml bottles, except for the Deep Blue Rub, and it has fractionated coconut oil and has a diffuser. One thing to remember is that if you are wanting to do the business side of essential oils, or if you know you're going to be sharing these essential oils with your friends and your family, do the 15 ml size, because you're getting 3 times the value at a lot less cost. So it's about 2 times the cost, where you're getting 3 times the value of the essential oils in it. Plus you're also getting that diffuser. So it's a great way to be sharing your essential oils, as well as to get a better understanding of the oils that are there and how to use each one, because each person in your family might choose a different favorite. And that's where each person can have a chance to try those oils. And then you can always top up and buy maybe a couple Digestens or a couple of the On Guards, depending on how many people are using it or how often you're sharing it. A couple of different benefits that are there are the membership benefits. So as soon as you sign up either as a preferred customer, so a wholesale customer, or a wellness advocate, you automatically get access to the 25% discount. In addition to that, doTERRA has other products that are additional 10%, so 35% discount. Every month there's a different product. For example, this month is eucalyptus. Then there's also the product of the month. So if you're purchasing over 125 product volume after you've set up your LRP, that's where you're able to also get a free product of the month. Then there's also loyalty rewards. So for example, if you know you're going to be buying toothpaste, if you know you're going to be buying face creams, moisturizers on a regular basis, this is where you can utilize the loyalty rewards program to start with getting 10% points back every month. Then after 4 months, you would be going up to 15%, 20%, 25%, and up to 30% back. So that means, for example, if you place an order of 100 product volume, and that could be 4 bottles of oil, that could be 7 bottles of oil, that's where you can then get up to 30% off So that could be another 2 bottles of essential oil free that you're getting for each month that you're purchasing those oils. So this is kind of where, again, reach back out to the person that has invited you to this class. Go to them, sit down with them to see what you can do as your first order, how you can take advantage of the loyalty rewards program, and if you're interested, how you can also share the business and become a wellness advocate to be able to get your oils paid for. So basically, by just sharing the oils, sharing your personal link out, those oils can basically be paid for, so that way you're getting free oils. So maybe it might not be that you wanted to do it as a full-time business. Maybe it's, okay, let me just have the oils that I use on a monthly basis paid and covered for. That is also perfectly okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now, and we will come back to the wellness goals, so that way everyone can kind of take a moment to discuss and go through them.